Before working with Sarah, I was feeling stuck for some time. I had been applying for work for just over a year, but I was not very sure about my roles and what I should explore. I had experience working in education and volunteer sectors, but I was working outside of Canada for about 3 years when I started applying for different roles in and around Toronto. But I felt a bit unsure and worried about the recent gap that I had in Canadian experience, and felt like, that's one of the reasons why it's making it difficult for me to secure a role here. So I was struggling with clarity, and I was unsure about my next step and how to really position myself effectively. And I really wasn't sure how to go about networking or, writing my resume and cover letter in the best way possible, especially to get shortlisted for an interview, for example. I understood that the application and hiring processes had evolved, and there's been many changes that's come in when it comes to that. So I really needed, guidance to navigate these changes. And I think all in all, I was also feeling, I was struggling with confidence and how to really shape my narrative, highlight my skills and goals to stand out as a candidate. So these were some of the things that I was struggling with before working with Sarah. So with the coaching sessions, I really wanted to build more confidence and work on my strategy around career direction. I knew that I wanted to work in something that was either in education or in nonprofit. I was open to other, industries and sectors as well, but those were really my two main focus. And I hope to align my values and my next steps to really feel grounded in the choices that I was making. So that involved securing something that would give me more opportunity in leadership, something that could be even policy focused, because that's the work that I was doing in the company that I was working abroad. And I wanted to also improve my LinkedIn profile and engage better in networking. Again, that's something that I didn't really sure how to do or how to do it in an effective way. And I had been, hearing and reading and understanding that networking is such a big part of the sort of, job searching process now. And so I really wanted to work on that. And I also wanted to learn how to, again, tailor my resume and cover letter for specific roles. It would always take me a really long time to work on an application. And I felt like, if my goal is to apply for, 10 roles a day, I found that I wasn't able to really do that because I probably didn't know the best ways to really, format my resume or the kind of language I should, focus on for my cover letter, for example. And apart from that, I think I really wanted to gain a better understanding of my career path going forward. Sarah's coaching helped me to feel confident and figure out the kind of roles and areas of work I'd be good at. And I also felt like her coaching helped me to align these roles and focus areas based on my personality, values, my goals and ambitions, and the skills that I currently have and I wish to develop further. And she really helped me to narrow down options that fits well with my education background, and also guided me to make better decisions when it comes to professional development. And I think the best way that I felt like she did that for me was with the kind of questions she asked, the conversations we had. We did initially different kinds of exercises and questionnaires, which she then later analyzed And I found that to be very insightful. It's very reflective because I could see, my career journey, but also reflect on my personality and who I am as a person and how I've grown and what I hope to achieve in the future. And so having these kinds of conversations and doing these exercises really helped me to think about what I wanted and not just what looked good on paper or my profile. I found that her approach was both structured and intuitive. She helped me to reframe obstacles or things that I was struggling with and really see them as opportunities. She helped me to reconnect with a lot of strengths that I probably overlooked or didn't really know that they were strengths. So yeah, I think that all these exercises and conversations really helped me to understand who I am as a professional and how I'd like to grow and where I see myself in the future. A key breakthrough or win that I'm most excited to share is that really just landing this role that I landed shortly in a very short period of our coaching ending or while it was going on. I think it's something that came through, which I didn't really think I was going to get something like this, but I walked into the interview with clarity. I advocated for myself with ease and with confidence. There were a lot of tough questions in the 2 rounds of interviews, but I didn't feel overly nervous, or I didn't feel like this is not something I can do. So that self-assurance and that confidence was very new but very important for me to acknowledge and have. I felt very comfortable sharing my story and narrative, and I think the coaching sessions really helped me to shape that and kind of frame that in a way that would help me stand out to employers. And that's exactly what it did, in the panel. And I'm very, I'm very grateful that even for further education and professional development decisions, Sarah really helped me to make those, make better choices when it comes to that. So that guidance and her insight from experience really helped me. So these are the key wins for me that I would share. I just wanted to add also that when I was working abroad, like I had a really good position, really good benefits and everything, but my goal was to, again, get a jump, not in this opportunity in leadership or in the role itself, but in terms of like salary and kind of the whole package, right? So going from a 5-figure to a 6-figure salary was also an amazing win for me. And again, something that I didn't know that I could achieve this early on, but I did, and that's a big highlight for me as well. I think one moment during the process that really made a lasting impact is, it's not a specific moment. Firstly, I would like to say that when we did the exercises initially, I thought that was so insightful for me. It was so good to reflect in that way about myself, especially as a professional. But aside from that, I think just all in all, I think all the moments where, you helped me to reframe what I saw as gaps or weaknesses in me, you kind of helped me to see them as something that is valuable, something that I could continue to work on, but also how to like communicate or show that as strengths, right? And I think that was very important to me because, again, that was one of the ways where I started to feel a lot more confident in me, and feel that I can take on a leadership role. The other thing that I would say is, again, something I've mentioned, but I want to highlight for this question is really focusing on my narrative and the storytelling that we do in, you know, in whether it's during an interview, or whether it's through our applications, or whether it's through our LinkedIn profile. Excuse me. It's really like learning and understand how to share your story in a unique way, and something that would be memorable for that other person, that panel. So I think that really changed a lot for me. And yeah, I think that's what really clicked. What stood out the most for me, and the kind of support Sarah provides, is that, you know, I found Sarah to be very passionate about her work and helping people with their career journeys. And I know as a career coach, you know, you obviously have to be, but I think that from our very initial consultation meeting, and then going forward to all the other meetings, like, I just felt like, you know, we really just clicked in a way that I didn't really expect. And that was the starting point for me to feel like, yeah, you know, we can build a good professional relationship. I can trust you with a lot of the things that I would want to share, especially when it comes to things that I'm struggling with or my challenges, you know, without feeling, of course, without feeling judged, but also feeling like I'm sharing this with you because you can help me navigate this, right? You know, so I think just as a person and also as a professional, Sarah's very caring. She listens deeply, and she really supports in a very strategic, affirming way. And I felt seen, heard, but also challenged in all the good ways possible. I found Sarah to be very understanding and encouraging, and helping me to really get my focus and myself back on track during times when I felt like my mind was going in different directions, or, you know, where I didn't know like what to do to make the process of applying for, not just applying for a job, but getting shortlisted. I wanted to kind of get there faster, because there are times when you feel very discouraged or you lose hope and you think that, what else can I do to speed up this process or to stand out? And I think just bringing a sense of calm in me, but also helping me to think strategically and in a way where I'm not losing my focus, right? I'm not feeling like I need to go in 10 different directions. I think Sarah really helps with that. So yeah, I would just add that to that question. If someone's on the fence about coaching, I would, you know, pretty much share everything that I've shared here about my own experience. But I would really encourage them to take the leap, to go for it. It's not just about, you know, making a career transition, but it's about self-awareness, leadership, and growth, and understanding and learning all of that about yourself in a very strategic way, but also with a lot of insight, and with someone who is able to guide you and direct you in a way that is effective at the end. I think it's one of the best investments I made. And what I like about what Sarah offers is that there are different ways to tailor the kind of support service you want based on your needs and focus. So it's, you know, you can customize it, what you need from her and the kind of work that you want to do with Sarah. She's quite flexible, and I find that to be a really good thing about what she offers. So yeah, I would tell them to definitely go for it, and at least have that first consultation to understand what you need and how a coach or Sarah can help you.